Okay, I did not take a break. I did not clean up my area. I just want to get this done in 30 minutes. Okay, or less. 30 minutes or less. How many autistic nappers do we got out there? Don't raise your hand. Yeah. Do not raise your hand. You know, there's, with autism, sometimes there's masking. Like you covered up so no one can see. And you learn to deal with people in a rehearsed type of way. I get it. Just keep doing what you're doing. Yep. Autism doesn't have the stigma it used to have. They used to call you all kinds of names back in the day. I know. You don't have to mask it anymore. In fact, you can probably make a living on YouTube just being autistic and talking about autism. How do I know? I just subscribed to a bunch of them. Yeah. Well, not just, but over the past few years, learning about ways that people learn. Now, were they immune to autism back in the day? I don't think so. It seems like it is at least partially heritable, like you get it from your parents. But it also, I think, it has to do with how you are developing as an embryo, and that was variable back in the day. Not everyone had healthy lives, and not all times were really good where you had really good food. So it affects the children. So if you want to know how they made them back in the day, you had to include people with certain thinking irregularities, or you're not going to know how they used to do it back in the day. Yeah, you shouldn't be thinking that everyone was perfect back in the day. They may have just done the best they could, and they thought that they were excellent nappers. And we see it, and it's not that great, because we do have excellent nappers these days that are online and exposed to the world, so we know what the best looks like. Back in the day, they didn't know, in many cases. Or if they did, they might have not known they were the best. That kind of thing. And if they were the worst, they didn't know that they were the worst. They might look at their neighbor's handiwork and say, wait, we are not doing it nearly as good as our neighbors. What's up? That's the only way to know. Back in the day. So that it affects the way the napping is. You might say, that napping is not that great. They might have thought it was great. They might have thought that was the pinnacle of the handicraft. We don't know. So why improve it if you think it's the best that you can get? That's part of why some things don't look great. And I call them stupid napping. But it's not because they were stupid. It's because it's not the most efficient or the best, or done by people who had genius ability. It just looks kind of stupid. That's it. Because we know we're exposed to a lot more than they used to be exposed to back in the day. Anyway. I know there are certain things about flint knapping that drive me nuts, like the pressure flaking part. Yes, this part. But I'm trying to get better at it. So I work through these anxiety episodes, and eventually it gets easier and easier. Less and less anxiety and less hassle. But it's difficult to get used to something that you don't like doing. And normally you don't do it unless you can see that there's a potential for doing it better. Then you feel kind of guilty. You're going, man, I thought I was making some cool stuff, but I've seen other stuff that's even cooler. Now I feel bad. Gotta up my game. That sort of thing. Okay. Did you see what I did? No, because you can't see. There's a zoom function on YouTube where you can put your fingers on the video and then stretch it out and it'll zoom it in. You didn't know? Try it. It's amazing. I don't have to zoom in on it if I don't want to. And I don't want to. Why? Because it's hard to keep it in frame when I zoom it in. I'm watching it on my TV, so I can't zoom in. I can't do that with the fingers. Okay, if you're watching it on your TV, just, I guess, get up and look at it closer. Get right up next to the TV. Oh, that's all I can tell you. No, but it's all pixelated. I can't see anything. Okay, fine. You just live in misery, okay? Life's just gonna be miserable for you. That's it. I don't know what to tell you. Okay, am I done with the edge? I'm pretty much done with the edge. Am I gonna offer this in the auction? Yeah, probably. I don't got anything else so far. I got to do all my work tomorrow. A little bit on Monday morning. Usually what I do on Monday morning or just before the auction, I assemble the boxes of flakes and stuff. And like last week, I didn't have any points done for the auction. So I just assembled a bunch of flakes. Took out some spalls and stuff from my stash. I just reach into my stash and start to pick out good stuff. Why? Well, I don't know. Got to offer something. Besides, I do depend on my auction income to fund a lot of this stuff that I do. Yeah, I spend a lot of money on rocks. In some months, I will buy a lot of different rocks from different vendors. That's one thing. Another thing is there's business expenses. Stuff. You gotta pay for electricity. When you do lots of heat treat, it starts to affect the electricity bill. Yeah. This sort of thing. And if you're working late at night, you had the lights on. There's electricity. You get a space heater. I got a space heater in my shop. That's electricity. I don't operate by candles and wood burning stove. Nope. Maybe someday. That should reduce my expenses a lot, but I don't have that yet. I got to spend a lot of money to construct a shop that has a wood burning stove. So is it even worth it? I don't know. Yeah, if I put a wood burning stove in my current shop, I got a pine tree right next to my shop. So if any of those embers go up into the smokestack and out and land on my pine tree, by some fluke, I could be looking at a fiery end to my shop. So, you either got to cut down the tree or figure out some way to make it so those embers don't leave the smokestack. Yeah, there's screens and stuff you can put on there. I know. It's all money. There are smokestacks that are designed to limit the amount of embers or fire hazards and blah, blah, blah. Okay, what am I going to do with this? I'm going to put notches in it, like I said. Did I say? If I did not say, then I missed that part. I'm going to put notches in it. It's kind of thick still. Yeah, this is a typical base that I have on a lot of my points. I need to thin it down. So there's some more pressure flaking. Hopefully, let's see. It's 12 minutes. Okay, I got time. Okay. So where was I? Yeah, I eventually want to have a wood burning stove and kerosene lamps and stuff lighting my shop. So I don't have to be electricity dependent. Oh, I've been in my shop with the lights go out. It's no fun. Especially because I tend to do things at the last minute like an ADHD person does all the time. Time management is an issue, so I tend to always rush at the end because I don't see the end coming until it's here. The end, it's already here. It's already Sunday. So I try to do everything at the last minute. And then the lights go out right when they're not supposed to. Just like when you get a step fracture in exactly the area that's not supposed to step. And then the lights go out. You're sitting there in the dark with a step fracture. Yeah. It's the worst feeling in the world. Yeah. But if I had a kerosene lamp, it doesn't do that. I think of everything, huh? I hate interruptions. Yeah. You didn't know? Now you know. How many of you guys have figured out you can just turn down the volume if you don't like my yip yapping? Some people haven't figured it out yet, and I still get comments. I don't want to hear the talking. Well, just turn it down. Problem solved. Okay. This is Notch-o. What is Notch-o? It's the Notch-o-matic. Did I invent it? No, I'm not that smart. I invented the behind the knee napping, but that's it. I did not invent indirect percussion, just the behind the knee stuff that not everyone can do. There's a lot of people who cannot hold a flaker behind their knee. And when I first started it, people were looking at me really oddly. Like, that looks weird, dude. Okay, fine. Why do you do it that way? Just get a pad and a bopper. Yeah, I had a pad and a bopper. Well, just use it. I like this better. Yeah, but I tried it. I can't hold a flaker behind my knee. Well, good. I'm glad. Yeah. That way you're not taking credit for inventing it. Yeah. If everyone could do it, then they wouldn't believe that I did it in the beginning. Anyway. I got some odd looks. It was funny. I don't mind getting odd looks and expressions because, for one, it's funny to me. I mean, in many cases, like if you take one of these out and no one's seen it before, they're gonna look at you like, "What is that?" And if you're self-conscious, you're gonna go, "Other people are using it." Really? Yeah, other people are using it. And they are. Works good. Just don't be too aggressive with it. I'll put a link down in the description where to get it. Everybody knows already, but for those of you who are new, who have been living under rocks, I'll put the link. Ouch. It worries me when it doesn't do anything, because that means I got to strike harder. And the harder I strike, the more chance there is to mess it up. I don't want to be striking this that hard. I'm stalling it. This has a good track record of unstalling the notches, but it's not perfect. So sometimes you end up with a stalled notch anyway. Ooh, that almost popped out of there. Let's try it again. No? Come on. It wants to come out of there. There it is. Yeah, there's got to be a way to get a better angle on it so it doesn't do that kind of thing. You can. A friend of mine was not using it, and he has it way down here, but I've been told it's best to have it straight up and down. So I don't know. Let's try that. Yeah, but it produces flakes that are too short. Yeah, and then I can't get in on the next one. I want a longer flake, so that's why I angle it like a 45. Starting to stall again. Okay. I'm going to have to take some material from the sides or just start crunching in with a regular pressure flaker. Or be more aggressive with the strikes and take a risk on blowing the whole barb off. Yeah. Ouch. Yeah, it's important to keep the corner sharp too on this. All right, 20 minutes. Why don't I just stop with the notch at that depth? Because people want to see the deeper notches. They don't want to see the wimpy little short notches that they can do with anything. The wimpy little shallow notches are easy. It's the deeper ones that are interesting. But I'm stalling it, and I'm going to have to hit it really, really hard. Let me see. Just take flakes from the side, dude. No, I already did all that. That's as thin as I want to go. Yeah. That's as thin as I want to go. The only other option is to take a file and file that down like my friend Melvin was doing yesterday. That works. You take a file and you can file it down and get a good platform and seat it on there, and it'll install it. Now with a sharp corner on this, I should be able to get it to go. Should. It doesn't mean it will. See, if these corners become rounded, it just bounces off. But with a sharp corner, you can sometimes get it to dig in and do something. It's not going to do it. Is there a fix for this? Yeah. For you new guys, this is the way I fix it. You're just going to make the notch wider. And then creep up on it from the side and then pop a flake out where it's thinner. Because it's pretty well stalled. And it's stalled because I took a vertical flake. If I had taken a flake that way, I think it would have gone further with that pop out. But since that pop out only popped out a little tiny flake because I went perfectly vertical, I ended up stalling it. Yeah. Let's see. But some people have a lot of success with the vertical positioning of that Notch-o-matic. Yeah. So don't think to yourself that it's impossible to go vertical with it, because it's not impossible. It just doesn't work for me. That's it. In this particular case. I think in some cases it might work for me. See, I got a ledge now in there. I don't know if I want to pop it with the pop-o-matic, with the Notch-o-matic, but I can get the... this is not narrow enough there. I'm going to hit the sides of that notch. So, hold on. This video might run into 38 minutes or 40 minutes. Where's my file? Especially if I can't find my tools. Yeah. Luckily, my friend is here. He pointed it out. Can you see what I'm doing? No? Good. I don't want it too narrow because this will bend when I'm trying to do that very hard pressure flaking that I need to do. I don't want it to bend, so it has to be very carefully thinned down. Okay, where am I? That ledge. Let's see if I can pop a flake off now that I have that ledge in there. Yeah. Oh, it did something. See if I can push on the bottom of that notch. No. Yeah, without the file, I have limited options. Yeah. I just got to keep working that. And hopefully I don't break off a barb. Well, that did something. I'm doing something. Yeah, that popped that out. See that? Good. All right. I might be able to continue. Can I use a Notch-o-matic now? I want to, but it's... See, the inside of that notch, it needs to be below center line to produce a good flake. It's not below center line. It's at center line. I can hit it when it's at center line, but it's better to have that bottom of the notch below center line. Much better. But in my attempt to get it below center line, I think I'm stalling it. Dang it. I did push off a flake. Okay, so yeah. Let's see, is that it? Or should I go a little bit further? Let's try it. Let's try it. See, when I switch hands like this, it moves when I'm positioning it. So I got to be very careful. Voila. All that just to get it maybe a 32nd of an inch deeper. Well, at least it's not stalled anymore. Not anymore. One more. Beauty. All right, let's see if we can do it on the other side. That's the trick. 28 minutes. I got 2 more minutes. What is it? It's going to be a Castroville. You didn't know? Of course you knew. I'm being a little more aggressive this time with this side because I kind of know the limits. I kind of know the limits of the material. And I'm putting it at a 45-degree angle instead of straight up and down. This seems to work well for me. Yes. See, it produces a much bigger pop out than if I were to go vertical. Now, it might not work for everybody. So just be aware. Okay. Beautiful. This one is going better. So far, so good. So far, so good. The little crackliness at the bottom is not that great, but it's not that bad. Not yet. If it stalls and I got that step fracture that hasn't released, then I'm in trouble, but it hasn't stalled yet. Check the corners. Corners need to be in good shape in order to pop out a good flake. Didn't do anything. Okay. There. It did something. So now I can get up next to that unreleased step fracture at the bottom of the notch. See how it's unreleased? I can pop it out from the other side. Theoretically. Oh, I cracked it. Yes, I did. See? There's a crack right there. So I'm not going to be able to offer it any auction. Because it's going to go zip. It's going to go... Yeah. That crack is going to open up. Dang it. You can see the crack, right? It's right here. It's originated from the bottom of that. Dang it. It's that radial crack I was talking about when you use a lot of force. Okay. See, that's why I also said I kind of know the limits of the stone. I kind of know. It's hard to know exactly. Come on. Still not able to punch out that step fracture. Okay, let's see. It's almost as deep as the other one. It always happens that it's just a little bit more would have done it to be symmetrical with the other side. That crack might not go all the way through. It might just be a surface crack. In which case, I might be able to... No, it goes through all the way. I can see the crack on this side too. Unless that's just part of the step fracture. Yeah, it's 34 minutes. I'm going to stop. But you can see that crack now pretty well. But it's not breaking yet. It might hold up okay. I might make a knife out of it or something. But not for the auction. I can't offer that. Unless I put it in the brokes and bifaces, which I might. Cannot. And I don't dare use the Notch-o-matic on it right now. Yeah. I was too aggressive on that side, thinking that I knew pretty much the limits of the material, but I didn't. Okay. So that's it. It's already 35 minutes. It'll hold up okay as a knife until I put some kind of strain on the barb, and then that crack might open up during use. And then it just becomes a big charcoals. Yeah, that's a bummer. And it's not that thick either. That's the bummer part of it. Yeah, I didn't think that it was going to crack. Not at all. All right, let's see. There's a little bit of unreleased stuff in the bottom there. That's okay. Yeah. All right, that's it. I don't think I have time to make a knife out of it, so it's probably just going to be offered in the Brooks and Buy Faces for this week. But it looks okay. Yeah. Alrighty. There you go. And that's it.